Thank you, sir. Thank you for the welcome address. Now, I would like to welcome our respected chief guest, Dr. P.V. Vijayaraghavan, sir, who is also our vice chancellor. He is our senior consultant in the orthopedic department. He has 38 years of work experience. Joint replacement and complex trauma is his area of specialty. He also have published number of scientific articles in national and international journals. He has been a recipient of various many prestigious awards and honors. Moreover, he has played a very crucial role in the development of our department, and he's been a source of support always. And so we are immensely grateful for your contribution, sir. Now I would like you to invite sir for the inaugural address to deliver the inaugural address. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Raghuram, the head of the Department of Occupational Therapy at Sri Ramachandra, university officials, the speaker of the day, Swostik Sourav Dash. Um, Actually, thanks for accepting and doing this program. I think I must really congratulate Dr. Raghuram for constantly innovating in the area. The field of occupational therapy itself is innovative science. And one of the reasons that we wanted this to develop in Ramachandra is Ramachandra actually focuses and also uh, helps in terms of quality education and quality research when it comes to uh, all its activities. So when this proposal came from the association, whether Ramachandra would be interested to start occupational therapy, it is very dear to my heart because I myself an orthopedic surgeon and a lot of our patients require the help of occupational therapists for their day-to-day activities when they are sort of disabled with some musculoskeletal deformities or disabilities. So we immediately cashed on to the opportunity and found in Dr. Raghuram an able leader who was able to suggest how and what are the needs for starting up a department and how we should be able to attract students. You will be surprised to know that it's only 4 years since this course has started, but almost every year we have been able to get 30 bachelor students joining this particular field, which is almost 100% recruitment of students. Um, so these students now have an opportunity to go and do a master's program as well. Later, after the department was started, he has improved and included quite a lot of specialities like the hand rehab unit, the neurology rehab unit. Of course, the musculoskeletal is still the major part, and he is planning to add more and more specialities in which the students may find it interesting to join for post-graduation. Uh, Over the last 2-3 years, I've observed that our institution, which always had infrastructure as its prime strength, is sort of struggling a little bit in view of the new buildings that are coming up and will be coming up very shortly. But they have adjusted in whatever has been given to them, and the Department of Occupational Therapy has been able to take care of the student needs in a big way. Now, about this particular program today, I find that again it's very, very innovative. He has got this uh, company called NEOMOTION, of which the uh, co-founder and CEO is going to be the speaker of the day. And I was so amazed in the morning when I found out the innovation that they had done. Normally, wheelchairs, when they are produced differently for use within the house and differently for being used outside. The motorized component has certain features which can go on some of the rough roads that India has, and also on hilly terrains and things like that. So a thoughtful mind of this company has sort of innovated sufficiently well to bring both these units under one banner. And I had a demonstration of this particular uh, sort of device, which can be of very, very great help to patients with neuromuscular disorders as well as with some orthopedic deformities and disorders. Um, so this new version is something which they call it as NeoFly and NeoBolt. The one which is used within the house is probably called just customized to the user with his requirement within the house, and the NeoBolt is the one which allows him to sort of use it on the roads whenever he requires it. Um, it is a made in India product in keeping with the Prime Minister's vision of skilling our own Indian professionals to be capable of producing these type of devices. I am sure more improvements will be possible with this particular wheelchair. Now, it has been also priced very, very economically, and people can use this for their benefit. And they have taken care of the maneuverability as well as the ergonomics. A lot of people develop backaches even on the regular high-end cars, but they have taken care that this device provides the best opportunity for the user to be happy and comfortable. So I'm indeed very happy, and I'm sure this particular talk that he is going to give is going to benefit the students as well as not only from Sri Ramachandra but also from across the whole country, and also some interested occupational therapists to know what more can be achieved. In occupational therapy, I always tell, every day you can think of something new. I'm amazed to find that when I had some difficulty to put the flower for the god in my house, they came up with a device with which you can actually carry the flower without climbing onto some, as you get older, you always have the risk of falling down when you get onto some stool or some chair and things like that. So that has been overcome by this type of adaptation. So adaptation is the word that occupational therapy always keeps highest in priority. They are able to help so many different people in society, and I'm sure this branch is definitely grow higher and higher, and it is not going to take too long before this establishes itself as a separate faculty in the university. I wish this function all the very best. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll see how long I can listen to Swostik.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. Now, let's go to the event. Our speaker for today is Mr. Swostik Sourav, sir, who is a co-founder and CEO of NEOMOTION. He's an alumni from IIT Madras from the batch of 2013. He's passionate about design and innovation. He uses energy, time, skills to solve problems that bring a positive change in the society. He is the co-founder of NeoMotion, which creates a life transformative solution for the physically challenged and elderly people. So now I would like to invite you to commence the presentation, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Vijay Raghavan sir, Dr. Raghuram sir, Hasina ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this session, and I was indeed glad to be able to showcase the product to all of you, probably most of you today morning. And I think, as sir rightly told, I think a very key aspect on which we base our work on is a constant engagement between an engineering mind and a clinician. Because what we do, we are limited by our knowledge and imagination. And this product that we have built has been possible because of constant support and engagement of multiple occupational therapists, physiotherapists that have been involved during the product development process. And I'm indeed very happy to be able to establish relationship with the esteemed Ramachandra Medical College. And I'm sure as we go forward, as we move forward, the product development pipeline of close to 16 products that we'll be building in the next 4 to 5 years, we would seek active participation from a lot of you, and only with those inputs a product can be built which really benefits the society. So that's the note on which we wanted to start. So what I'll be presenting today is I'll tell you probably a short story of what we have been doing, what has been our interaction with the users for the first 10 to 15 minutes to give an overall glance of what we do. And the next 15-20 minutes, I'll take you through in detail about some of the features of the product, which we learned working from the best clinicians that are out there in the world, that how a good wheelchair should be prescribed. Like when each one of us goes and buy a cell phone, we will say, I need so much of RAM. This is my screen size. This should be my battery. But when a person goes to buy a wheelchair, how does one specify it as buyers, as prescribers of a product which will be an integral part of a wheelchair user? What are some of the technicalities that which we get into? And I would be happy to take questions and feedback at the end of the session. So first, I'll share a video, and with that, I'll start my presentation. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
All right.
मेरा 2011 में दोस्त के कंधे पर से गिरने के कारण मेरा शरीर पैरालिसिस हो गया था। इस व्हीलचेयर प्रयोग करने के बाद आसानी से हम कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, आ सकते हैं। हम लगभग 1 साल से काम कर रहे हैं इस प्रोजेक्ट पे।
It's the best wheelchair design wheelchair that I've sat on in 27 years.
पहले हम व्हीलचेयर से हम जो मैराथन करते थे उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा समय लगता था। इस व्हीलचेयर के प्रयोग करने के बाद टाइमिंग है वो बहुत कम हो गया। एक गाड़ी आती है जो कि इस व्हीलचेयर में आसानी से हम सेट कर सकते हैं, और गाड़ी सेट करने के बाद हम आसानी से बाहर जा सकते हैं, कम स्पेस में जा सकते हैं और कहीं भी पार्किंग कर सकते हैं और गांव में चला सकते हैं। अगर गड्ढे ऊंचे नीचे हैं तो आसानी से चला सकते हैं। अभी हमको कोई डर नहीं, हम कहीं भी जा सकते हैं।
See, I have a car that I drive. It's hand
you can mute your mic, sir. There's echo.
But often the challenges that I face in terms of mobility is somebody to get your wheelchair, somebody to kind of load it, or even going to my parents' place. Is a huge challenge. My parents' place is only 5 minutes away, but I'll still have to take the car. With this, I just roll my wheelchair out, put the bolt on, straight away go there, and then get the bolt on out, get into the lift, and go to my parents' place. When I was riding this, the feeling of the air coming and hitting on my face, I think that's the true sign of freedom and liberation. To go to the grocery shop or to the supermarket, now my wife is going to kick my backside and I have no excuses, absolutely.
So that's kind of a glimpse of what a good product can actually enable and improve the lifestyle of a wheelchair user. So when we approach developing a product and providing a solution, it's more like how can we be a part of their life in a way which will enable them to do nice and do good and be very happy about it. We wear our spectacles. They are assistive devices. Now they are a style statement, and we all feel good about it. We carry them with so much of style. So we work with that mindset that whatever we build, whatever we do, it should be something that a user should be really proud about, and they can really do great things with it. Next, I'll go to sharing a presentation briefly about the different works that we are doing. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So my name is Swostik Das. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NEOMOTION. Let me start by sharing stories of few of our users. On the left, you see Baljit Kaur. She's 60 years old, hails from Hyderabad. She had been on a wheelchair for 37 years. She had back pain, shoulder pain. Within 4 to 6 months that she started using a well-fitted wheelchair, she could not only rid herself of the pain, but here you can see her participating in leisure sports. In the center, you see Kamal, who hails from a village near Puri in Odisha. Just 2 weeks before.
Swostik, I don't think these slides are moving.
Yes, sir. Slides are not moving, sir.
Oh, all right. Okay. Maybe I'll just.
Raju is a wheelchair user. He is one of the 3 crore Indians with a disability. Just like any.
Did it move right now? Yeah, I'll just keep it in this mode.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
All right. On the center, you see Kamal, who hails from a village near Puri in Odisha. Just 2 weeks before, Kamal completed the world record attempt for the longest distance covered on a wheelchair in 24 hours. For a 24-hour duration, Kamal completed 213 kilometers in that duration. Now, we work very closely with users like Kamal because they're highly demanding. What users like Kamal would achieve on a wheelchair in maybe 3 to 4 months' time is what a regular user would achieve over a 4 to 5 years period. So it gives us a very good opportunity that if we devise something for him, it would very well work with an average user. On the right, you see Justin Vijay Jesudas, who is a quadriplegic, only has gross wrist control and gross finger control. He's at a C5, C6 level of injury. He is a Paralympic swimmer. He goes to the US and the Canada almost every 1 to 2 years for participating in different sports. And once he had our product, on this occasion, he decided, I need not take any caregiver with me on this instance. Let me go on my own because I think I am confident enough to be able to move around independently. And he did go there. And for that entire period of 6 weeks, he was on his own. And he feels that it's one of the greatest moments for him. And the kind of how people used to look at him and how people used to react to him, he felt happy. And he calls it the Harley Davidson of wheelchairs. One of my favorite images is what I have here. Kasinathan, whom you see at the center, is from a village near Tindivanam. And again, a very, very aggressive and high demanding user. Here you can see how he has taken the wheelchair to the edge of the creek and he's enjoying his swim along with his friends. Now, what is it that we are trying to do here is to enable people to live life to the fullest by ensuring that what they need, what they demand, what they want to achieve, we are able to provide the products which will enable them to do that. My journey started somewhere back in 2016 when I traveled across India. I was part of the team which developed the standing wheelchair, the Arise standing wheelchair, which is there at the department which I saw today morning. So I was doing the development of that particular product. We interacted with close to 200 wheelchair users in 40 locations in India. And during the course of these interactions, we understood what are the kind of products that they're using, what is the socio-economic environment where they are being used, what are the challenges that they face. More or less, wheelchair users are often confined to inside their houses. And if you break it down, there are 2 problems. The image that you see on the left is the most common wheelchair that's available. Every year, close to 3 lakh to 4 lakh of such wheelchairs are sold. 95% of these are of the concept of one size fits all. We are all wearing shoes. We all wear shoes. But imagine if all of our shoes were of size 14. Will they really be useful? A very similar context applies to wheelchair. If the product is not well fitted, it's not really very useful. Wheelchairs like this, they damage the health. One will get a back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. They're very difficult to propel. You consume a lot of energy. The wheels are not reachable. The ergonomics are not good. Third, they're so large and bulky that if I look at a wheelchair user, the wheelchair takes the limelight. And the wheelchair is so much visible that the self-confidence of the person also goes for a toss. When it comes to outdoor mobility, we have all seen this product, modified scooters. But it's a very minuscule population who can use this product because let's imagine ourselves. If I'm a wheelchair user, I'm sitting on a wheelchair. Imagine shifting myself, my entire body weight from the height of a chair to that of a scooter. I have to shift. Then wherever I am going, I again need a wheelchair there. So somebody has to help fold the wheelchair, put it at the back of the scooter. So it's a highly dependent activity. If you and me want to go out, we'll just go, wear our shoes and walk out of the house. For a wheelchair user, you shift from here, another shift, you take help. It's a dependent activity and consequently they start going out less. So what we are solving are these two present problems right now of a comprehensive indoor and outdoor mobility solution through our products. Our first product is NeoFly. It's a personalized and customized wheelchair. There are 18 customizations on this. These 18 customizations are based on the measurements of the user that we take, the health assessment that we do, and third, the environment where these products will be used. So we have occupational therapists as a part of our team. We do this assessment and we come up with a wheelchair prescription, which we discuss with the client. And once they say yes, we go ahead and build this product. What does happen when we do the customizations correctly? First, you have a great posture, no back pain, no shoulder pain, or reduced pain on all of it. It's very easy to propel. It's compact in size, narrow places, bathrooms, all these places become accessible. And because it fits well, the user is more visible and it changes their body language. They feel good about themselves. It's priced at 40,000 Indian rupees. A product with similar feature would only be available in the global market and would be at least 3 to 4 times more expensive than this. For outdoor mobility, we have NeoBolt. It's a clip-on device. So user can attach it to the wheelchair independently. They don't need to shift, don't need to transfer, and can go out on their own. The combined set would be priced at somewhere around 95,000 rupees. It's very similar to that of a bike. As of now, there are 850 users who are using these products across 31 states in India. NeoFit is our platform which we use for collecting the data. I'll be sharing it in the later half of the presentation for all of us to see what are the different kind of questions that we ask, basis which we prescribe the wheelchair. Being an automotive product, it requires after-sales service and spares. Anything to do with the wheels and brakes can be done at a local cycle shop or a motorbike shop. Every other part are small components which we courier to the doorstep of the user. We have a repository of close to 50 to 60 videos where it shows how to change the backrest, how to make this modification. And the users, by seeing these videos, will be able to make these changes on their own. Again, some images for all of us to have a look at of the kind of terrain and the environment where the products are being used. Suresh, he's an ex-service person. He runs a saplings business. He was unable to visit his farm on a daily basis. He used to go there maybe once in a week. Now he's able to go there and monitor what is the progress, what are the challenges, and address them. Lakshmi Priya is from Pondicherry. She has she works as a cashier in accounts at a hotel. But Pondicherry being a very beautiful city, it was always her desire that can she move around the city on her own and enjoy, and now she does. And even commuting to her office regularly, she now does it independently. Parthivan in Vellore, he does country chicken farming. He goes to the market, gets the feed on his own, and when there is a requirement in the market, he carries 2-3 chickens on this vehicle itself. And now he's running his employment through this. We have people who are participating in international sports, participating in wheelchair modeling. Yes, here you can see the NeoBolt being taken inside Chennai Metro. So maybe you have to go 20-30 kilometers away. You can use the metro. You can take this, drive it inside the metro for the last 1 or 2 kilometers before boarding and after you leave, so that your overall range is taken care of. What we have recently started, what we are doing right now is creating employment opportunities for wheelchair users by enabling last mile delivery services. So you can use, as a wheelchair user, you may not have a source of employment for whatever reason, but now you can use this to go and deliver food. You can onboard yourself onto Zomato, Swiggy, Dunzo, any delivery platform. There are opportunities where you can select a lower range. And even if you're not employed, you start using it and you'll have a mode of employment. There are challenges. Restaurants are not accessible where you deliver. Those places are not accessible. But we have trained that how you call the customer and say, sir, I'm your delivery agent. I'm waiting downstairs. There are few stairs because of which I'm unable to come to your doorstep. Can you please come down and collect the food? And they're happy to come down and see that that the food that they ordered is being delivered by a wheelchair user and he's getting employed in the process is a great opportunity, and they feel good about it. So that's briefly about the overall landscape of NEOMOTION that I had to share. Any questions that are there, you can ask. My next session is getting into slightly details into the features of the products, where we see what are all the adjustments that we do, and I think it would benefit from an academic perspective of how we are approaching these segments. If any questions are there, you can please ask, or otherwise I'll get into the detailed specifications of the products. All right, maybe I'll just get into the specifications now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So I told you about the 18 customizations that we do in the wheelchair. So in summary, these are the 18 customizations. So on the left column A, are like the choice of certain components that a user would do. And on column B, we see are the different adjustments that we would do. Just to give you a summary now, for example, I go to office. I want my color of my wheelchair to be silent. I don't want it to be very loud. I'm a sports person. I want an orange flashy color. I'm a young person. I may need some sort of color. So we have few options which are available. Next are point number 2 and 3 are like the kind of tires. So based on the kind of environment and terrain that you would be using the product at, we can make appropriate choices of tires and wheels, which will help us perform better. 4th is the push-in, the touch point where you hold the wheelchair and you propel it. The locks, which is basically the brakes, or the kind of brakes that you use to apply. Armrest, the place where you will support your arms. What is the kind that one would use? Camber angle is the angle of the wheels at which they are kept. The kind of cushion that one would use. So these are all the things that go into selection. A user makes a choice that these are all the things that would be ideal and appropriate for me. On column B, you see the various adjustments that are done. The width of the seat, the depth of the seat, the backrest height, the angle at which the backrest is, the height at which the armrest should be, where you position your feet. What is the rear wheel position is basically the center of gravity of the wheel, and push rims, so they can be placed in or out. So all these adjustments are then decided. So these are the customizations which we do. I'll briefly walk you through each one of them. Color is more of a choice between your preference and probably the place where you're working. So we offer a few options. Okay. Rear wheel tires. So broadly there are, and what I'm speaking right now is not specifically for the products that we do. I'm telling morely in a larger perspective that a good wheelchair should have some of these options, or should ideally have more options. I'm only presenting a few options just to give all of you a perspective of how we can think about it. So there are broadly 2 types of tires that are there. So one we know are solid tires where one doesn't need to fill air, and one there are pneumatic tires where one needs to fill the air. What is the difference? Solid tire, which are basically these tires, it doesn't require any maintenance. It will not get punctured. You're always assured that it'll keep working. Pneumatic tires, you need to fill air. There is a possibility that it will get punctured, but the benefit is it's very easy to propel. The energy that you save if you're propelling a air-filled tire is more. It's far more smoother as compared to a solid tire. So one needs to decide that for me, what is important? Is there a possibility? Is there a mechanic nearby where I can go and probably do the maintenance? Because a puncture won't happen regularly. It will happen maybe once in a year, and I need to fill air maybe once in every 1 month. So if these facilities are accessible to me, I would rather choose a air-filled tire, because I am propelling my wheelchair every day. I'm spending my energy every day just for that one instance of puncture, which may happen in a year. Why should I struggle every moment? So we take the calls like that. The second category that after we have done the choice of which type of tire we need to choose, second decision that we take is the width of the tire. Here you see 1 inch, 1 3/8 and 1.75 inches. It's basically how thin or thick the tire is. Again, to give some context, thinner the tire, better it is to propel. It consumes lesser energy. Thicker the tire, it consumes more energy. So, and the other side, thinner tire will get sunk if you're driving it in the sand, outdoors, on muddy terrain, on muddy road, whereas a thicker tire will not sink into a sand and muddy kind of terrain. So based on the kind of terrain and environment where we're using, we select the width. If I use only indoors, I go only to office, I use only for sports purposes on a concrete surface, I would rather choose a thinner tire because it will help me. If I'm using it for my day-to-day activity, like the images that I showed, I'm driving them outdoors. I live in a village. It's better that we use a thicker tire. And if you are somebody who uses partly inside and partly outside, then you can take something intermediate that will help in both these cases. So tires, two types, solid, pneumatic, and then there are ranges of the thickness of it. Based on these criteria, we decide. That's like the summary of it. So the different criteria that we evaluate is the ease of pushing, the ride quality, does it offer suspension or not, how does it look, the compactness, and the pattern of the treads. So these are some of the recommended places how we use, where we use and choose the tires. Next, we will come to caster wheels. Caster wheels are the smaller wheels that are at the front of the wheelchair. Here are only a few options presented. There are many more. So one is the material that is used for the tire and the rim, and second is the diameter, the size. Is it a small wheel or is it a large wheel? So how does it compare? Larger the wheel, larger the caster wheel, it's easy to propel outdoors. Even if there is a small stone, the wheel will go onto the stone and it will turn over it. If it's a small wheel and if it's a stone that is there, the wheel will come and it will get stuck and the wheelchair will topple. So based on the kind of usage that one has, one can make a choice. If I'm primarily an outdoor user and I don't know the skill of how to do a wheelie, you might have known how there's something called as a pop wheelie, where the wheelchair users will lift the front caster wheel and take it in the air and control the entire wheelchair with the rear wheels and they can take it. So if one has the balancing skills, they can maybe go outdoors with the smaller wheels. But if you're a new user, if you're going out, take the larger wheel. If you are, the advantage of a smaller wheel is it's highly agile and maneuverable. You want to take turns, it'll help you take quick turns. I'm playing basketball. I'm primarily used indoors inside the houses. Then you can take a smaller wheel because it'll help for this kind of terrain and environment. And again, we have something intermediate where it can take care of both indoors and outdoors. There's also the choice of material of the rim. Rim is basically the inner part of this thing. So metal is more durable, but it is more expensive. We have polymer ones which are equally, which are again durable, but lesser as compared to the metal ones. But definitely again economical. So here you can see in this view, and on the right side you see the images of how they compare when we looked at it from the top. So that's how we make a choice of the caster wheels. You can see here the different recommendations that we have where we need to use them. Next comes push rim. Here, see, the standard push rim is something like, if you can see here, there is a diagram of a finger. Let me see if I can annotate this. Give me a minute, please.
Yes, sir.
Is my if I'm moving my mouse, is it visible to you, or I'm trying to find a highlight?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Oh, perfect. Great. That takes care of. Okay, fine. So now, here you see it's basically the part which is kept next to the wheel. This is the one which we commonly use. What's available in most wheelchairs. It's the standard push rim. What we have developed is something different. It's called an ergonomic push rim. We call it ergonomic. Just to make the context clear over here. So it's slightly wider. It provides a better grip. Like imagine holding it. Imagine like if I'm trying to let me try to find a pen. Okay, if there's a pen, if I'm trying to grab a pen which is circular in nature, it's difficult for me. Versus if it's this, my phone is like slightly wide, it gives me a better grip. My overall area of contact is larger, and I'll be able to get a better grip. So whenever I'm propelling it, I don't need to hold and apply a lot of force. My area of contact of my palms is good, and I'll be able to place my hands and push it, and it will go better. And if I'm going down the ramps, again, when I'm applying the brakes with my hands, as I'm pushing my hands against the rims, it's also relatively easy. So that's a variant which we have developed and which we provide with our wheelchairs. Again, both are options that are available for users to choose. Then there are wheel locks. It's basically the brakes that are there. So, I mean, we have the standard push to lock and pull to lock. Like you push it, it gets locked. For some people, based on whether you have a biceps or you have a triceps, which function is better available for you. You have both push to lock and pull to lock type of brakes that are there in the standard category. There is also a category called as a scissor brake. If I'm a sports person, I propel my wheelchair aggressively, and often it happens for wheelchair users that they develop a cut because the brakes will hit their touches the wrist at this particular point, and they develop a cut. So scissor brakes are ones which completely go beneath the wheelchair, so that the path is completely free for you to propel. There are no chances of you developing a cut or anything else as you're propelling your wheelchair. Armrests. Here you can see this is where one positions your hands. So here you can see two variants of it. One is a round sleeve and is a flat padded. I'm a young person. I don't need to rest my arms a lot. I probably just hold it and do a push-up for my pressure relief, or while I'm shifting. I can go for the round padded because it's sleek, looks better, has better durability, and functionality, it doesn't add much. Whereas I'm a user who spends a lot of time working on a laptop, on a computer. I place my elbows on the armrest. I need good support. I need good cushioning. I can go and choose for a flat padded. So based on the kind of activity that they do, we can make a choice of the type of armrests that we use. Next, what we have is camber angle. Camber angle is basically the angle of the wheels. We have two options that we offer with our products. There is a 0 degree and 2.5 degrees. See now, if I'm, you look at this image, and there is a natural angle of the hands. Like your hands are not, they don't go down straight. Okay, if you're trying to propel your wheelchair, you will have a natural angle. There's a small amount of angle that's fine. It ranges anywhere between 2.5 to 4 degrees based on your belt. But what I want to say over here, that if I'm able to offer that natural angle, propelling is easy. My ergonomics are better. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is the wheel base at the bottom becomes larger. So the overall width of the wheelchair becomes larger. So based on what is important for me, if I'm not staying at a house which is very compact, or my wheelchair itself, like my hip width is only 14 inch, I actually need a small size wheelchair, then I can probably opt for a camber angle because it will help me in the ergonomics. Even if I'm sitting on a large size wheelchair, if inside my house there are no such, my doors, at my office, all the places that I go, there are no restriction on the width of it, then I can take a camber angle. Camber angle also improves the stability, the chances of tipping sideways, because see, if you have your wheelbase like this and your wheelbase is increased, your chances of tipping is also reduced to that particular extent. But then if width is extremely important, the overall width of the wheelchair is important for your accessibility, the places where you stay or the offices that you go, or if you travel a lot to unknown places, to hotels where your width can be challenges, then better to go for a 0 degree angle. So that's the benefit, pros and cons. It's a decision which we need to take based by understanding the client's requirement. Cushion. So it's a big subject. Cushion is a very, very big subject because there are so many varieties and so much of requirement. We offer a standard cushion and we do minimal modifications on it. So our philosophy, the basis on which we work, we want to promote very active lifestyle users who do more, who travel more, who are very active. So for them, the key things that we look at is how stable is the surface on which I'm sitting, because if I'm moving around a lot, the place where I'm sitting should be firm enough to give me that stability. I'm just taking the extreme example of an air cushion. They have definitely great advantages, but if I'm very active, if I move around a lot, an air cushion is something like a balloon where you would need to constantly balance yourself. There is no cushion that offers probably a better pressure relief than an air cushion. It's a balance which we need to strike. So what we offer is a great stability. Second, we have contours on our cushion which give you below the thighs, below the ischial bones, so that the bony prominences and the skin, the chances of developing a pressure sore are reduced and minimized. We do advise our clients to do a push-up, a pressure relief maneuver every 20 to 30 minutes so that the chances of developing a pressure sore is reduced. And need basis, we do some carvings, we do some scoops on the cushion as required. Next, we'll come to the section on the adjustments that are there on the wheelchair. So the first is the seat width. The seat width are available in 5 different sizes, what we offer. There are other people who offer other different sizes also. So we start with 14 inch and go up to 18 inches. So these are frames of different sizes. And what we do is, based on after we collect the data from the client, we choose what is the size of frame that the user needs to sit. I think this is one of the very important dimension that needs to be decided, because everything else builds around it. A larger width unnecessarily increases the size of the wheelchair. Your upper body support may get affected. Your trunk balance, your trunk support may get affected. So it's required that based on your hip width, based on whatever you practice, maybe half an inch or 1 inch clearance, that's all that needs to be provided, and then we choose the seat width. Second that we come is seat depth. We have it available in, again, various sizes, and based on that we decide, so that there is enough support available below the thighs. It's not more, it's not less. It should not be, if the depth is more, the person would tend to be seated in a slouched position. If the depth is short, the pressure distribution will not be sufficient. So to ensure that all these things are taken care of, the appropriate depth needs to be selected. The height of the backrest depends on the measurement of the person. For a tall person and a short person, there is a dependency. The second is the trunk balance that's available. If I'm probably talking about spinal cord injury, if I have a high level of injury, I need more support. If I have a low level of injury, my trunk balance, I have been exercising, my trunk balance is good. I can raise both my hands above my head without taking any support. I can do away with a smaller backrest height because it improves my flexibility, my agility. Then my entire movement is then taken care of. Next is the backrest angle, which again goes hand in hand with the height of the backrest. Again, with the consideration of what is the appropriate amount of support that is required for the user. If I'm unable to balance my body, if I move my hands forward, my tendency is to fall, then I would probably raise the backrest height, take it angle slightly backwards, so that I don't need to take care of my body is supported and my hands are free and available to do any activity. Armrest height, again, to ensure that you get appropriate support. Height of the footrest, again important, because if the footrest is not supported well, your thigh, the pressure below the thigh can increase or decrease. So it needs to be kept at an optimum level so that the thighs are touching the cushion and appropriate pressure relief is available over there. If the footrest is kept at a lower height, you may develop tendencies of your foot dropping over a period of time, spasm, swelling, multiple things can happen. The position of the footrest, front and back, again to ensure the correct positioning, angle of the footrest. Next thing that we do is we adjust the center of gravity of the wheelchair based on how advanced the wheelchair user is. If it's a beginner, wheelchair has a tendency to topple back, but that you can use it for your advantage if you learn how to balance it. Because the farther ahead the center of gravity is, it's very easy to propel, but the risk is you may topple backside. But if you know how to control it, it's better that you have the center of gravity in advance. For a new user, for a beginner, we start at a passive level and gradually we change it to an active level with time based on their trunk balance and trunk control as the users develop. It's foldable. It can be carried. It can be folded. It doesn't fold like a conventional wheelchair. It folds like the wheels come out, the backrest flips in, all the parts are removable, and you can carry it in actually very small cars like an Indica, Tata Indica. You can put it inside in an auto rickshaw. You can carry this. So that's about the different customizations that are there in the wheelchair. Any questions on this?
Any questions, students? Participants, any questions?
No.
Either all of us have understood everything or we have not.
We understood, sir.
Okay, sir. So you have anything to convey?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I would like to share my feedback on this section, sir. Actually, I am Moses doing my final year in Bachelor of Occupation Therapy at Srihar. At first, I really appreciate you, sir, spending your quality time and effort on giving us the introduction and demonstration of NeoFly and NeoBolt. This was really an informative, sir. And then, I got to know more about the NeoFly and the NeoBolt. And then I love the way it acts as both, the modern as well as the patient-friendly wheelchair. And then, sir, you talked briefly about the wheelchair and then the varieties of customization that helps, the patient to feel comfortable. So it was really good, sir. And, I want to wish you a luck on NeoMotion and more success ahead. Thank you again, sir, for this wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My request to all of you, thanking me is of not of any use. I'll tell how you can see. I think this is a sector where all of us, our involvement is extremely important. I'll go back to the same question with which we started. When we go and buy our phone, we ask for so many things. Why are products like this not available? It's not that what we are doing is something very new. I think in the developed countries, this is the standard practice. This is the way a good wheelchair is delivered. Yes, there are challenges that those products are expensive, so on and so forth. But now we wanted to bridge the gap, and we have introduced it as practitioners of good practice, of a good method that we should follow. Like WHO states this 8 steps of a wheelchair provision, and they go through everything, understand the client, what is the requirement, discuss with them, come up with a prescription, deliver it with them, follow up after a month, follow up after 9 months to see whether they're using it, whether it is really beneficial. So if any one of us, like all of you, as you go out, maybe some of you are practicing, and it's not related to just our product, any product that you feel is required and should be, is required to be provided to the users. Let us all take that extra effort in demanding that, in asking for the specification, getting into slightly more detail. And if we start doing it, a lot can change. So I'm taking this opportunity to, as a sincere request to all of you, that if you ever get a chance to prescribe a wheelchair, do it the right way. I'm not saying prescribe NeoMotion, prescribe whatever wheelchair, but follow. If all of you can start giving a prescription and not just write probably a wheelchair. If you say that this is how a good wheelchair should be like, it will change a lot of things. If the person goes to a shop, and the shopkeeper will see, oh, there is something like a wheelchair like this, he will take his or her time and find out where can I find such a product, and more such products will be available, and the overall ecosystem will grow. And I think all of us, the work that we do or are trying to do, will improve in the process. We are at negative right now. We have to come to zero, and then we have to go to positive. That's what is my understanding, and that's how I look at it. And I think I would seek request from all of you that as and when, even if you come to prescribing a wheelchair, take that opportunity to prescribe, make a good prescription, and that will change a lot of things. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Kritika, doing my final year in Bachelor of Occupational Therapy. Sir, first of all, thank you so much for spending your time with us and orienting about the wheelchair. Those explanations you gave us with the advantages and disadvantages about those customization for the adjustments is really clear for us. And as you just mentioned, those things are going to help us in prescribing wheelchairs for the patients in much better way. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I would also like to thank our HOD, Dr. Raghuram, sir, for giving us this opportunity in participating in such a great webinar. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The topic was really, the way you dominated the topic was really wonderful. And I like the way how you spoke. There are various customization and how it is customized, and mainly the part, how the advantage and disadvantage is there. So it's a great and very important knowledge for us, sir, as a rehab profession. So I'm really great, and I'm very inspired by your presentation, sir. I hope you continue to create new innovations in future, so that for upcoming generation they will benefit from you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, I'd like to invite Raghuram, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, it's really a very good presentation. So instead of learning the curriculum perspective, even though it is also included in our curriculum, we all should, as an occupational therapist or occupational therapy students, we all should know about the wheelchair. And as an occupational therapy, we have a very crucial role to handle the wheelchair. And apart from this, I think our young generations will come to know that anybody can live without without any I can say that not only the human who are perfect in their day-to-day activities only can challenge the people. So apart from that, anybody can challenge the world. By attending this topic, definitely they will think that, and they also will be very creative and they will be very innovative. For them, you will be one of the motivating person in their life, I think so. So really, I'm very happy to organize this kind of webinar with the support of our faculties. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Wrapping up the session, I would like some time to thank all the administration of Sri and TN branch of IOTA to organize and let us organize this event, and extend my gratitude to Dr. P.V. Vijayaraghavan, sir, for delivering the speech, and extend my thanks to our guest speaker, Mr. Swostik, sir, for accepting our invitation and also providing with the great knowledge and information, sir. And thank the IT team for the support. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for the great cooperation and response. And I would like you to participate in upcoming webinars in the same way, and I would like to interact in the same way. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.